American Revolution. RNC spokesperson Kayleigh Mcenany is with us, Fox News national security strategist Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and Fox News contributor Doug Schoen. Kayleigh, let's start with you. I think, James Comey's own memo, if there's some satellite, he took it to be an associate of his campaign, did something, it would be good to find that out. Okay. That sounds like he wants the investigation to be thorough, complete, and even if it's people around him, he wants to know who did what, and after a year plus, we have nothing.
Right, Sean. That sounds like the opposite of obstruction of justice. That sounds like a president fully cooperating with the investigation. And to echo that, Jim Comey says in his book that none of his conversations with the president rose to the level of illegality. There is no there, to quote Peter Strzok. There's no there with collusion. There's no there with obstruction. He's been cleared by the Intel Committee. Robert Mueller has said you're not a target of this investigation. Rod Rosenstein has said it. And in Comey's memo, he says to the president 3 times, you are not under investigation. This president has cooperated. He should be absolved. And Robert Mueller needs to pack up, go home, move on.
You know, think of the week we had, Dr. Gorka, where first you have the congressional criminal referrals. Hillary Clinton, Loretta Lynch, Strzok, Page, Comey, McCabe, anybody involved in the dossier. Then you have the criminal referral by the IG as it relates to Andrew McCabe. Now today we have James Comey himself. He is under investigation. Everything, you were part of predicting, as I was, that this is all going to backfire on them because the very thing they were accusing the president of, they themselves were guilty of. What a week it's been.
You read the parts of the declassified memos today. James Comey says that he said, I don't do weasel moves. I don't make slimy tricks. Well, guess what? He is one 6'7" slimy weasel. That's what he did. If you read this, what do we now know, Sean? We know that he told the president, you're not the target. We know the president told him, I want a clean bill of health for my whole campaign. Get to the bottom of it. James Comey refused to make a public statement to the effect that the president is not the target and that he wants a clean bill of health. But what did he do? He leaked the fallacious Russian propaganda accusations that he told Congress later were unverified and salacious. That's what he gave to the press. How is that not biased, Sean?
Let me, I'm watching the Democrats today. The whole Russia collusion narrative has fallen apart, Doug. The whole thing. So now they're going to file a frivolous lawsuit, probably go judge shopping, and hope they get a liberal judge that will, after the special counsel. Rod Rosenstein was key this week. He told the president that he's not the target in either investigation, the one in New York or the Robert Mueller special counsel investigation. That's another way of saying they never found any evidence of any type of collusion. And for the Democratic Party, they can't let it go, that now this is going to be their issue going into 2018. Sounds like a bad idea to me.
Well, Sean, it's not only you and Republicans who think it's a bad idea. People like Congresswoman Jackie Speier from California said what I believe, that this is trying to overtly politicize an investigation that has not been completed. You're right. As of now, we have no evidence of collusion. But for the Democrats to try to turn it into a political football in the midst of an election campaign runs the risk of a backfire and is overreaching. We saw that once before in 1998 in the midterm elections, when arguably the Republicans overreached. And I would urge my fellow Democrats not to make the same mistake.
If you look at all the deep state actors, Sebastian, you and I have talked at length about this. If you look at all of them, the idea that Hillary Clinton, we know she committed felonies, and we know there was an exoneration before an investigation. We also know that they used a phony Clinton bought and paid for dossier created by a foreign agent using Russia government sources, and then use that as a basis of FISA warrant to spy on Americans. It seems these things now, this is what America is going to focus on. Americans believe in the right of privacy, and they don't believe in frivolous warrants based on political opponents paying foreign sources that use Russian sources to lie to courts to get warrants to spy on people.
That's the average American. That's the America that I know, that's driven by common sense. But you just played the audio where James Comey, with a straight face, says, Yeah, it would have been better if Clinton had won because of her upstanding attitude to justice and law and order. I mean, is that a bad joke? From cattle futures to Servergate, this is a woman who we know has committed felonies. What felonies has Donald Trump committed in the last 71 years? Zero, Sean. This is how deep the corruption is in the swamp. And the fact that these people go on book tours when they should be in the dock tells you how big a job the president has before him.
You know, Kayleigh, I watch this. We keep hearing about the big blue wave that might happen here. I think, look, I don't want the Democratic Party to listen to Doug Schoen. My advice is keep doing what they're doing. And if the Republicans can fix a couple of things, I would find ways to cut back on that omnibus bill, which they have an ability to do. I'd get the money and fully fund that wall and get the building started and do it expeditiously. And the third thing I would do for the Republicans is fix health care. And if they do those three things, I don't think they would lose anything.
There's no doubt about it. And the president has worked very hard at getting those things done. We need partners in Congress to fund the wall, as you noted. The president does want to rein in spending. He has said that. But the Democrats, Sean, gave us a big indication of what their playbook is for 2018 today when they filed this frivolous publicity stunt of a lawsuit. And that is Russia, Russia, Russia. They will scream it from the rooftops. There is no basis in truth. These are conspiracy theories that they're peddling. By the way, the DNC is bankrupt. They have $6 million in debt. So I don't know how they're funding this multi-million-dollar lawsuit, but they ought to be careful because Brad Parscale from the Trump campaign said, I'm going to expose this DNC corruption through discovery. We're going to look at why you partnered with Fusion GPS. We are going to use this lawsuit to find out why you didn't turn over your server. The DNC, we're coming after you, and your narrative for 2018 is not working.
All right, Doug, I'm going to give you the last word. Just keep giving them bad advice.
Well, I think I give good advice, but I would say the Democrats run on issues, try to do a deal to make the Dreamers and the wall get done. It's good for both sides.
They're not going to do it.
But we need progress. And if there's progress, it'll benefit the country and the Democrats and indeed the Republicans. Because, Sean, what's so bad about this is the real winner in all of this is Vladimir Putin, President Xi, and all the autocrats who see us ripping ourselves apart, hurting our position globally when, as you said quite correctly, the president is dealing with very serious foreign policy problems, Syria, North Korea.
They wanted to sow discord in the country, and they've succeeded 100%. But the president's still successful, which I'll point out in a few minutes. All right, thank you all.
Thank you very much.
All right, as we continue the special edition of Hannity, don't miss it. Joe DeGeneva, Alan Dershowitz weigh in on